Hi guys, hope you're well. Welcome to DOdaily. It's Des here. Who's ready to wake up to walk? Really attack the day. I'm out this morning in the centre of Nottingham. Of course, Robin Hood behind me and Nottingham Castle. I thought I'd come and have a look. At the start of last lockdown, some of you may remember that I went for a walk around Nottingham city centre. It was really quiet, not much going off, and it was really nice to do, but it was eerie and strange. So I thought I'd do something pretty similar. Wasn't expecting the fog, in all honesty, so not quite sure how it's going to pan out today, but not to worry. It's just about getting out, getting up, getting out and getting a walk in. That's the most important thing, do you know. It's really funny as well, because I said a couple of weeks ago I'm going to wake up one of these Fridays and it's going to be absolutely freezing and it's going to shock me to the core. Well, it's definitely done that. It's so cold, but that just makes it even more epic, doesn't it? It's just a case of putting on those extra layers, you know, doing the things we do, getting out there and really making the most of what we've still got. And that's been the theme this week, hasn't it? Just focusing on what we can do, and that's all I'm doing today. Just getting out there in the centre of Nottingham, you know, cold, fog, lockdown, you know, doesn't stop any of that. It still can do the things I enjoy doing, and this is really one of them. I say they don't to that we focus on about focusing on the things we can do, and that's so important, you know, as we head into the first weekend of the new lockdown. You know, this is a time where I find it gets a little bit more difficult, you know, but with a lot of planning, that's what the guy on the phone on the bike just said, with a lot of planning and thinking about what we're going to do, you know, it just makes it that bit easier, you know. I start looking forward to things. I start expecting to do the things I do. If I left it, you know, if I didn't plan anything or didn't do what I say I was going to do, then sometimes that's where we can let things get the better of us, let things get on top of us. But if you start looking forward to something, you know, you generally do. As human beings, that's what we do. If we go into something sort of half-hearted and not too fussed, we tend to deal with it like that, and ultimately disappoint ourselves, you know, and not get from the things we plan, not get from those things what we plan to do. So it's really important to do things. Just coming into Market Square now, noticing it's really busy, unlike last time. So the situation's not exactly the same, is it? Whilst it feels like we're regressing, going back to those disappointing days of spring, you know, and not being able to do very much. There's a lot more happening now, to be honest. There's a lot more going off, and it might be a little bit regimented and a little bit sort of feel like we're being dictated to, but it's still important in getting through the situation, isn't it? And that's really, really important, you know. The more I think about it, you know, I'm as frustrated as anyone. I've got my opinions, but the more I think about it, I've said this a few times this week as well, it's winter now, it's cold, we tend to hibernate a little bit, you know, and if that's the way you normally do things, then why not just accept that this is the way it is normally, and do your normal sort of hibernation over the winter, wrap up, get inside, watch TV, you know, read books, listen to music. Just do that, you know, whilst I'm encouraging activity and people to stay active and healthy and on top of sort of fitness and feeling good about themselves. You know, it's also about doing what you have to do, you know, and if you're doing what makes you happy, you know, you're part of the way there, aren't you? You know, Might be a bit deep, but we're actually here for a short time, not a long time, so it's important to really make the most of the things we do and really enjoy it. We all spend too much time stressing and worrying and thinking about things that we've got no control over. Well, sometimes it's about making control, and if you choose to stay in, if you choose to get out for a walk, it's absolutely that. It's your choice. Nobody's telling you can't do these things. I think sometimes with the fact people can get out and do activity, and because it's being said to them all the time, what you can do, it feels like another can't. It feels like you're being told what to do, but it's definitely don't look at it that way. Really do not look at it that way. If they didn't mention exercise at all, everybody would be itching to get out there. That's how it was at the start of the summer, end of the spring, start of the summer. Kind of noticed that from somebody who's sort of keen to pass the message on anyway. I noticed how people really got out there, used the river where I live. Lots of people out doing what they do, but then when they're encouraged to do it, it's a different matter, isn't it? It feels like they're being told. If you just about make out there, the council house in Old Market Square, it is quite quiet, but it's as expected, I guess, at this time. But yeah, it's just important to remember what we can do, and I've been a bit like a stuck record with that this week, because it's so important to get out there and make the most. Even on days like today, it makes it even more epic. It makes that coffee and breakfast taste even better, and whilst there's so much we can't do, absolutely do the things we can, and it doesn't matter who's telling us to do it. So there's a noisy road sweeper, that's what I always get when I come into Nottingham. There's so much that people are saying we should do, and we really should. They're doing it to look after us, despite all the conspiracy and all the stress of why and what we're being told. There is an issue out there. Got my opinions, like I said before, I've got my thoughts on different aspects of it, but there's definitely a situation to deal with, isn't there? And if we can nip it in the bud as soon as possible, do all those things, just stay healthy, sort of protect the NHS by protecting ourselves. Touched on that a few times, working closely with the guys there. I'm not a clinician myself, but working closely, I see the pressure that's being put on them, and it just makes me realise that it's important to do whatever we can. Whilst we're all going to be confused and upset and angry at times, if we can do a little bit just to take that little bit of burden off them, it's really important to do so. It's going to be a long couple of months, but like I said before, if what you do sort of fits in, do it. Absolutely do it. What I do definitely fits in, and I'm not just being happy clappy about exercise and activity because the government or the people in power tell me what to do. It's because it's something I love doing. So when people are encouraging me, I get even more from it, because I realise how important it is. Sometimes we take these things for granted. If 2020's learnt us one thing, it's that we've definitely taken some of the things we're used to for granted, and we need to find a way of kind of not doing that so much. It's been a lesson, hasn't it? But this whole thing about 2020 and letting ourselves get beat up and saying how bad it's been, like I hate that. It's nothing to do with the year, is it? It's just a moment in time, and we've just got to live it. Unfortunately, we've got to live it, but we've got to live it, see it through. I absolutely hate reaching out for time to pass, wanting time to pass, because it just, in a way, it just shows that we're in a bad place. You know, when you're happy and content, you're just enjoying life, enjoy the moment, you know, and doing the things you do, and that's what's really important, isn't it? It's just a simple message, you know. I'm not trying to be too sort of technical for all this, particularly this week. The simple message has been all week: just enjoy what you can, you know. Keep doing those things. Keep taking on board the advice, you know. It's not people preaching, it's people trying to look after you. Whatever decisions are being made elsewhere, whatever people say, whatever you agree with, ultimately it's to protect us, it's to get us through the situation and to get us back to normal. We'll take, if you do get involved in getting out and getting active and getting into some of the things that people are suggesting, you might just take them forward, you know. And whether it's 2021, although we're not dwelling on time, or the future, you know, for years to come, you might just take on a benefit that does so much for you. That's all I've done, you know. It's nothing to do with a bad situation like this, but I had to find a way of taking my life forward, doing different things, looking after myself, you know, using other people's inspiration just by listening, you know, to what people had to say. And sometimes that's all it takes, you know. We all like to look up to people, rub off people, you know. I'm always doing things I can and looking at what others are doing to try and help others progress, you know, and do what they have to do. So that's all today, guys. You know, I just wanted to sort of just reiterate, let's do what we can. If I had £1 for every time I said that this week, I'd be quite well off. But I'm flying into the weekend, you know, I'm absolutely on top of it, you know. Enjoy my running, enjoy my activity, enjoying the video, you know, absolutely enjoying things, you know. And it's a surprise because the situation is difficult, but little things, those small wins I've mentioned in the last couple of weeks. Just quickly, I did a little video last night of, well, I didn't, my phone actually, my very clever phone predicted what I wanted to see. Did a little highlights reel of 2020, and because it's a new phone, it was literally just the last week. It was a highlights reel of the last week. It's got a lot of running pictures in there. I'm going to post it at the end. It just put a real smile on my face. It made me really happy, you know, seeing the guys. I've seen all the pictures already, but it put it to a little bit of music, a little bit of a montage, and it just sent me to bed feeling real sort of happy and great about what I'm doing. You know, noticing that people are really back on it again. Touched on yesterday that I think there's been a great effort this week, especially within the DOdaily community, to do some of those things. It's possibly the realisation that it is here rather than the confusion of not knowing what's what. But for that, well done, guys. Really proud of the effort, really proud of the way things are going. You know, really looking forward to that weekend. I'm going to get out, continue that activity. Hopefully you can join us. Doesn't have to be much. Run, walk, you know, bit of a home activity. Get those pictures posted on the Saturday selfie. Show us how the challenge this week is how you're enjoying lockdown 2. But it's not about lockdown, it's just to show us how you're going to use that activity. So it's not much of a challenge, just get a picture in, you know, of what you're doing whilst you're out and about, whilst you're indoors, you know, let everybody see it. Let's keep inspiring, make them listen if they're not going to. That's the real point. But for now, guys, I'm gagging for that coffee and I'm gagging to get back into the warm. So have a great weekend. I'll see you Monday for some Monday motivation, and I'm going to post that little video up at the end. Hopefully it makes you smile too. From Nottingham, a very, very foggy Nottingham, just doing it. Well, welcome to DOdaily, Monday Motivation. It's Des here. Tough flyer. Get out, get in some activity, never miss a Monday. Well, welcome to DOdaily, Tuesday training. It's Des here. Welcome to DOdaily, Tuesday training. It's Des here. in tackling the really not trying to push it too hard, but making sure I get regular activity to keep me